Chapter 11. Bodhisattvahood and Its Stages. Then said Mahamati to the Blessed One, "Will you tell us now about the disciples who are Bodhisattvas?" The Blessed One replied, "The Bodhisattvas are those earnest disciples who are enlightened by reason of their efforts to attain self-realization of noble wisdom, and who have taken upon themselves the task to enlighten others. They have gained a clear understanding of the truth that all things are empty, unborn, non-dual, and of a Maya-like nature. They have ceased from viewing things discriminatively and from considering them in their relations. They thoroughly understand the truth of twofold egolessness and have adjusted themselves to it with patient acceptance. They have attained a definite realization of imagelessness, and they are abiding in the perfect knowledge that they have gained by self-realization of noble wisdom. While stamped by the seal of suchness, they entered upon the first of the Bodhisattva stages. The first stage is called the stage of joy. Entering this stage is like passing out of the glare and shadows into a realm of no shadows. It is like passing out of the noise and tumult of the crowded city into the quietness of solitude. The Bodhisattva feels within himself the awakening of a great heart of compassion, and he utters his 10 original vows: to honor and serve all Buddhas, 2, to spread the knowledge and practice of the Dharma, 3, to welcome all coming Buddhas, 4, to practice the 6 paramitas, 5, to persuade all beings to embrace the Dharma, 6, to attain a perfect understanding of the universe, 7, to attain a perfect understanding of tile mutuality of all beings, 8, to attain perfect self-realization of the oneness of all the Buddhas and Tathagatas in self-nature, purpose and resources, 9, to become acquainted with all skillful means for the carrying out of these vows for the emancipation of all beings, 10, to realize supreme enlightenment through the perfect self-realization of noble wisdom, ascending the stages and entering Tathagatahood. In the spirit of these vows, the Bodhisattva gradually ascends the stages to the 6th all-earnest disciples. Masters and arhats have ascended thus far, but being enchanted by the bliss of the samadhis and not being supported by the powers of the Buddhas, they pass to their nirvana. The same fate would befall the Bodhisattvas except for the sustaining power of the Buddhas. By that they are enabled to refuse to enter nirvana, until all beings can enter nirvana with them. The Tathagatas point out to them the virtues of Buddhahood, which are beyond the conception of the intellectual mind, and they encourage and strengthen the Bodhisattvas not to give in to the enchantment of the bliss of the samadhis, but to press on to further advancement along the stages. If the Bodhisattvas had entered nirvana at this stage, and they would have done so without the sustaining power of the Buddhas, there would have been the cessation of all things, and the family of the Tathagatas would have become extinct.
Strengthened by the new strength that comes to them from the Buddhas, and with the more perfect insight that is theirs by reason of their advance in self-realization of noble wisdom, they re-examine the nature of the mind system, the egolessness of personality, and the part that grasping and attachment and habit energy play in the unfolding drama of life. They re-examine the illusions of the fourfold logical analysis and the various elements that enter into enlightenment and self-realization. And in the thrill of their new powers of self-mastery, the Bodhisattvas enter upon the 7th stage of far-going. supported by the sustaining power of the Buddhas. The Bodhisattvas at this stage enter into the bliss of the samadhi of perfect tranquilization. Owing to their original vows, they are transported by emotions of love and compassion as they become aware of the part they are to perform in the carrying out of their vows for the emancipation of all beings. Thus they do not enter into nirvana, but in truth they too are already in nirvana, because in their emotions of love and compassion there is no rising of discrimination. Henceforth with them, discrimination no more takes place. Because of transcendental intelligence, only one conception is present: the promotion of the realization of noble wisdom. Their insight issues from the womb of Tathagatahood, and they enter into their task with spontaneity and radiancy, because it is of the self-nature of noble wisdom. This is called the Bodhisattva's nirvana, the losing oneself in the bliss of perfect self-yielding. This is the seventh stage, the stage of far-going. The eighth stage is the stage of no recession. Up to this stage, because of the defilements upon the face of universal mind, caused by the accumulation of habit energy since beginningless time, the mind system and all that pertains to it has been evolved and sustained. The mind system functioned by the discriminations of an external and objective world to which it became attached, and by which it was perpetuated. But with the Bodhisattva's attainment of the eighth stage, there comes the turning about within his deepest consciousness from self-centered egoism to universal compassion for all beings, by which he attains perfect self-realization of noble wisdom. There is an instant cessation of the delusive activities of the whole mind system. The dancing of the waves of habit energy on the face of universal mind are forever stilled, revealing its own inherent quietness and solitude, the inconceivable oneness of the womb of Tathagatahood. Henceforth there is no more looking outward upon an external world by senses and sense minds, nor a discrimination of particularized concepts and ideas and propositions by an intellectual mind. No more grasping nor attachment, nor pride of egoism, nor habit energy. Henceforth there is only the inner experience of noble wisdom, which has been attained by entering into its perfect oneness.
Thus establishing himself at the eighth stage of no recession, the Bodhisattva enters into the bliss of the 10 samadhis, but avoiding the path of the disciples and masters who yielded themselves up to their entrancing bliss, and who passed to their nirvanas, and supported by his vows and the transcendental intelligence which now is his, and being sustained by the power of the Buddhas, he enters upon the higher paths that lead to Tathagatahood. He passes through the bliss of the samadhis to assume the transformation body of a Tathagata, that through him all beings may be emancipated Mahamati. If there had been no Tathagata womb and no divine mind, then there would have been no rising and disappearance of the aggregates that make up personality, and its external world, no rising and disappearance of ignorant people nor holy people, and no task for Bodhisattvas. Therefore, while walking in the path of self-realization and entering into the enjoyments of the samadhis, you must never abandon working hard for the emancipation of all beings. And your self-yielding love will never be in vain. To philosophers, the conception of Tathagata womb seems devoid of purity and soiled by these external manifestations. but it is not so understood by the Tathagatas. To them it is not a proposition of philosophy, but is an intuitive experience as real as though it was an amalaka fruit held in the palm of the hand. With the cessation of the mind system and all its evolving discriminations, there is cessation of all strain and effort. It is like a man in a dream who imagines he is crossing a river and who exerts himself to the utmost to do so, who is suddenly awakened. Being awake, he thinks, is this real or is it unreal? Being now enlightened, he knows that it is neither real nor unreal. Thus, when the Bodhisattva arrives at the 8th stage, he is able to see all things truthfully, and more than that, he is able to thoroughly understand the significance of all the dreamlike things of his life as to how they came to pass, and as to how they pass away. Ever since beginningless time, the mind system has perceived multiplicities of forms and conditions, and ideas which the thinking mind has discriminated, and the empirical mind has experienced and grasped and clung to. From this has risen habit energy that by its accumulation has conditioned the illusions of existence and non-existence, individuality and generality, and has thus perpetuated the dream state of false imagination. But now to the Bodhisattvas of the 8th stage, life is past and is remembered as it truly was, a passing dream. As long as the Bodhisattva had not passed the 7th stage, even though he had attained an intuitive understanding of the true meaning of life and its Maya-like nature, and as to how the mind carried on its discriminations and attachments yet, nevertheless the cherishing of the notions of these things had continued. And although he no longer experienced within himself any ardent desire for things nor any impulse to grasp them yet, nevertheless the notions concerning them persisted and perfumed his efforts to practice the teachings of the Buddhas and to labor for the emancipation of all beings. Now in the 8th stage, even the notions have passed away, and all effort and striving is seen to be unnecessary. The Bodhisattva's nirvana is perfect tranquilization, but it is not extinction nor inertness, while there is an entire absence of discrimination and purpose. There is the freedom and spontaneity of potentiality that has come with the attainment and patient acceptance of the truths of egolessness. Here is perfect solitude, undisturbed by any gradation or continuous succession, but radiant with the potency and freedom of its self-nature, which is the self-nature of noble wisdom, blissfully peaceful with the serenity of perfect love. Entering upon the 8th stage, with the turning about at the deepest seat of consciousness, the Bodhisattva will become conscious that he has received the 2nd kind of transcendental body, Manomayakaya. The transition from mortal body to transcendental body has nothing to do with mortal death, for the old body continues to function, and the old mind serves the needs of the old body, but now it is free from the control of mortal mind. There has been an inconceivable transformation, death achintya parinama chuti, by which the false imagination of his particularized individual personality has been transcended by a realization of his oneness with the universalized mind of Tathagatahood, from which realization there will be no recession,
With that realization, he finds himself amply endowed with all the Tathagata's powers, psychic faculties and self-mastery. And, just as the good earth is the support of all beings in the world of desire, so the Tathagatas become the support of all beings in the transcendental world of no form. The first 7 of the Bodhisattva stages were in the realm of mind in the 8th, while transcending mind was still in touch with it. But in the 9th stage of transcendental intelligence, SAID MAHAMATI, by reason of his perfect intelligence and insight into the imagelessness of divine mind, which he had attained by self-realization of noble wisdom, he is in the realm of Tathagatahood. Gradually the Bodhisattva will realize his Tathagata nature, and the possession of all its powers and psychic faculties, self-mastery, loving compassion, and skillful means, and by means of them will enter into all the Buddha lands, making use of these new powers. The Bodhisattva will assume various transformation bodies and personalities for the sake of benefiting others. Just as in the former mental life, imagination had risen from relative knowledge, so now skillful means rise spontaneously from transcendental intelligence. It is like the magical gem that reflects instantaneously appropriate responses to one's wishes. The Bodhisattva passes over to all the assemblages of the Buddhas and listens to them as they discourse on the dreamlike nature of all things and concerning the truths that transcend all notions of being and non-being, that have no relation to birth and death, nor to eternality nor extinction. Thus facing the Tathagatas as they discourse on noble wisdom that is far beyond the mental capacity of disciples and masters, he will attain 100,000 samadhis, indeed 100,000 yutas of kotis of samadhis. And in the spirit of these samadhis he will instantly pass from one Buddha land to another, paying homage to all the Buddhas, being born into all the celestial mansions, manifesting Buddha bodies and himself discoursing on the triple treasure to lesser bodhisattvas, that they too may partake of the fruits of self-realization of noble wisdom. Thus passing beyond the last stage of bodhisattvahood, he becomes a Tathagata himself, endowed with all the freedom of the Dharmakaya. The 10th stage belongs to the Tathagatas. Here the Bodhisattva will find himself seated upon a lotus-like throne in a splendid jewel-adorned palace, and surrounded by Bodhisattvas of equal rank. Buddhas from all the Buddha lands will gather about him, and with their pure and fragrant hands resting on his forehead will give him ordination and recognition as one of themselves. Then they will assign him a Buddha land that he may possess and perfect as his own. The 10th stage is called the Great Truth Cloud Dharma Mega Inconceivable, inscrutable. Only the Tathagatas can realize its perfect imagelessness and oneness and solitude. It is Maheshvara, the radiant land, the pure land, the land of far distances, surrounding and surpassing the lesser worlds of form and desire, in which the Bodhisattva will find himself at one ment. Its rays of noble wisdom, which is the self-nature of the Tathagatas, many-colored and trancing, auspicious, are transforming the triple world as other worlds have been transformed in the past, and still other worlds will be transformed in the future. But in the perfect oneness of noble wisdom there is no gradation, nor succession, nor effort. The 10th stage is the first is the 8th is the 5th,
The fifth is the seventh. What gradation can there be where perfect imagelessness and oneness prevail? And what is the reality of noble wisdom? It is the ineffable potency of the Dharmakaya. It has no bounds nor limits. It surpasses all the Buddha lands and pervades the Akanista and the heavenly mansions of the Tushita.